The Battle of Rivers Bridge marks one of the Confederacy's last stands against General William T. Sherman across the South. Of all the Civil War battle sites in South Carolina, Rivers Bridge is the only site home to a preserved battlefield. We are Swamp Fox, Overland, and Outdoor. We made our way towards Rivers Bridge Historic Site in Bamberg County, South Carolina. We left North Charleston and headed northwest. We decided to make it more interesting by linking up with the South Carolina Adventure Route outside of Bowman, South Carolina. This was after visiting the UFO Welcome Center. What a crazy place. You'll see that later. We linked up with the southeast portion of the SCAR and found dirt around Branchville, South Carolina. Branchville is the home to the world's oldest railroad junction built in 1828. Now, wouldn't that be important to a war? We found lots of farmland, namely corn. Is this where crop circle started? Turn by turn, we made our way across South Carolina on the South Carolina Adventure Route, eventually landing in Earhart, South Carolina. Earhart holds a Schützenfest annually, a shooting competition commemorating their rich German history. And finally, we made it to the battlefield. It was already a longer day of travel, so before we started exploring the site, we decided to pull out the stove and cook up some lunch. Not by design, we had bratwurst and sauerkraut. Come on, y'all, I'm not that clever. No, absolutely. South Carolina State Parks did a wonderful job at making this site interactive. Ample signage to learn about the history of the battle without being intrusive. They even have an activity called Walk with a Soldier, where you pick a soldier to follow through the battle and find out if he's survived past the war. The Battle of Rivers Bridge is one where the Confederates were outnumbered by the Union troops. Dug in behind earthen fortifications on the far bank of the river, 1,200 Confederate troops were ready to take on the 5,000 strong Union troops to try to stop them from advancing on Columbia and pushing through. The Confederates felt confident that they could take on the Union advance head-on, but had plenty of concern for their flanks as they did not have enough soldiers to fortify them. The Union understood this, and Union General Mower instructed his troops to go around the Confederate breastworks rather than attack them head-on. Other Union soldiers used the cover of the swamp to get close to the Confederate line and shoot the gunners, maintaining the cannons. On February 3rd, the Union finally began to break through the Confederate fortifications. This was the beginning of the end for this group, as it led to Sherman's push through Columbia and eventually led to the surrender of the Confederates in Durham, North Carolina, April 28, 1865. The Battle of Rivers Bridge Historic Site has a memorial grave site for those soldiers lost. Take the time to pay your respects, as their sacrifice helped shape the future of America. There's a small museum that is self-guided. Here, you finally find out if the soldier that you walked with stayed alive or if he died in the battle. Also, you are able to read letters from soldiers, read about some of the history of the battles, read a list of the soldiers who lost their lives, and find out how some of them carried on after the war. And lastly, we got our Ultimate Outsider stamps. We are on a mission to visit all 47 South Carolina state parks, and this is one more off the list. Finally, we could make the long trek home. We decided not to follow the South Carolina adventure route, but rather opted to stay on the highways to get home faster. All of this history sits in our backyard. It's up to us to go out, find it, and learn about it. And you get an opportunity to decide which path to get there. For us, we would rather take the path less traveled, and we were able to knock out a part of the scar that we haven't traveled before. Sure, it takes a little longer, but it was much prettier. Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. If you like what we are doing here, please make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell to be reminded that we're out here. Like always, keep the shiny side up, all four on the floor, and go out and explore. And, as always, we are Swamp Fox, Overland and Outdoor. Until next time.